John, we have such an awesome treat for us here. The first time here on Troopathon in studio, and you probably recognize this great, fabulous woman who is such a supporter of the troops. Yeah. Great talk show host. How many Gracies do you have? We were talking about Gracies earlier. You have like, 9. She has 9 Gracie Awards. That's what I knew. I remember that. Right. But not only that, Suze Orman, who everybody knows, of course, from CNBC, she is the preeminent personal finance guru. You do so much for the troops. You actually donate your time and your efforts to teach them about finance, personal management
15 years,
skills.
right?
So you know what's interesting is
and
that
she is here with us. We love this. We're so happy to have
I've
you.
never talked about it before. It's always been something that's the only really pro bono work that I do. And I've been to Naples, I've been to all over this world speaking to the troops, and it was this year that I was named the official finance educator by the Pentagon for the Army Reserves and the Army. And so we've made videos, and you know, now with the administration change, they have to get everybody in place. Yeah. And then we were going to tour the bases because, you know, you have these men and women. And if you ever met them face to face, if you ever saw them when they came back, like in Walter Reed, which I have,
so have I. Yep.
We have our freedom because of them. And I don't think that we really get in the United States here what it's like to walk around not being free. We are free, and we get to do this and we get to do that because of the armed forces. And so it's such a shame that they're not acknowledged and they're not honored and they're not treated better and they're not on everybody's mind every day.
You know, you talked about, it's interesting, it made me think, Suze, you know, my father is Polish and my father was a Polish resistance fighter. And we went to Poland and my father said he had tears in his eyes because he said to see a free country. And you're right, there are so many countries like that that are begging for American troops and begging for freedom. And I think it is such a great reminder that sometimes we do take freedom and how lucky we are to have these brave men and women and to be able to speak our mind and to do the things we do in this country. It's a very divisive time in the country right now, but yet we're able to speak freely because we have brave men and women like that. Yeah. And sometimes we do take it for granted, sadly.
And these men and women love their country more than anything. You know, I'll never forget a few years ago I was at Walter Reed and I'd given a talk for 700 or 800 of, you know, the men and women there, and then we were taken on a tour through the hospital, and a man had just come back with no arms and no legs, and his wife and his children were going to see him for the very first time. And all this man wanted to do was to go back to the sandbox.
Yes.
To go back to serve his country. Yes. Nothing wanted, no arms, no legs, you know, and that's what he wanted. So you could take a man's body and a woman's body away from them, but you can't take their love for their country.
Their spirit.
Absolutely. And your love, too, by the way, because you're here with us. I want everybody to know, I reached out, I'm in. It was like, count and how beautiful, because what do you want?
We were just in Tampa today.
She just happened to be in Florida. I was like, you can't be in the state without coming by and seeing the two of us and seeing everybody, all of you at home, too, especially.
And one of the other things that you do that, because Suze, I've known you from your time in San Francisco, where you had a radio program, and then, of course, you were syndicated across the country, but you take the time to educate our soldiers about money.
Yes.
And that's when you were referring to your pro bono work, that's what you were talking about, is giving them this great gift of being able to manage their finances in their lives and make things very meaningful.
Yeah, because, you know, we don't pay them very much.
No.
When they're through with whatever, we've made them soldiers, but it's very hard. It's not so hard to make a man or a woman into a soldier. It becomes very difficult to make a soldier back into just a man and a woman. And so I've always said, if you want to hire a worker, you want to hire the best employee you are ever going to find, bar none, hire a soldier, a veteran. But when they come back, everything has been taken care of for them.
Yes.
You know, so they're out of touch with money.
Right, and how to juggle it all.
Right. And here's the other sad thing. So many financial organizations take advantage of the men and the women. They set up posts and things to give them payday loans and do this and to do that. It's a real travesty.
It is.
It is.
So And it really pisses me off.
I don't
That's why
blame
I'm
you.
glad that you're giving
Right.
back.
And so let them hear what the truth is. So I
Yes.
didn't want anything. And what was so hard was that it took me so long to get a gratuitous service contract
Wow.
because I didn't want any money. And they said,
From the government.
They're like, wait a
from
minute.
the government,
wait.
they said, no, you can't do this unless you're one of our vendors.
Wow.
And I said, I'm not your vendor. I don't want a penny. And either you create a contract that says I get no money, or else I'm not doing it.
Or pay me 10 cents.
Then all the other financial advisors heard. Suze Orman was named the official financial, and they were calling up like, how come she got to do it? And they said, well, she's doing it for free. And they went, oh, never mind.
By the way, we just have about a minute left, and I want to make sure that you tell folks who are watching at home, too, how important it is, too, to be here, because how wonderful of you to take your time and to be here with us.
show up.
And also to show up, to really walk the walk, which you do.
So which camera you want me to
Whichever
tell?
one. How about this one right here?
All right, you listen to me, everybody. It's not enough to just show up. It's not. It's you have to show up with your money. And there's only a few things in life where money really can have an incredible impact. So let's do a little challenge, Grant, here. For the next hour, I will match every single dollar up to $10,000. You have 1 hour to call in, and I will match dollar for dollar everything up to $10,000. Now, this is the time for you to do that. Because when you give from your heart, you get far more back than you can ever have any idea.
You just
bless
blew me
you.
away.
God
You
bless
just
you.
blew me away,
You are,
Suze.
God bless you, Susan.
And he
Thank you.
does.
Yes,
He
he does.
does.
And you are amazing. We love you. The troops love you. And you just heard it. Make sure you match Suze Orman, one of the great patriots out there. In the next hour, she's going to match it for $10,000. Thank you for your time
Thank
and
you,
for your love of the
Suze.
troops.
We love you.
We love you. We're going to have a lot more
We gotta
Troopathon right after
take
the
a
break.
If you want to call, it's 1-844-2-TROOPS, 1-844-2-TROOPS, or Troopathon.org.